To the cantina. So we've got some interesting news to have happening. First off, Midnight's Edge had Cameron on, and it was a really good discussion. He really explained a lot about that leak on Reddit, and then Doomcock, in the middle of the whole thing, posted his video, basically saying he's heard from multiple sources now, including overseas, that Kennedy is out or on the way out. And Monday, Disney's basically taking over social media and asking to see the phones of the employees at Lucasfilm and Disney itself. And people are invited, if they don't want to do it, they're invited to look for new work. Everything with a grain of salt. Everything with a grain of salt. But it's not to say it's not true. Okay. The reason why the guys at Midnight's Edge, Andre, Tom, and Doomcock and others never divulge and say, take it as a rumor, is they're protecting their sources. Even if they know what they're talking about is real. Okay. And I gotta say this. Sorry guys, sorry. With everything that happened to Gina, the Forbes article, the massive backlash against Kennedy, then we have this bizarre Reddit leak, and some think it's actually JJ trying to protect himself. And look, I'm not saying JJ's stupid, but is he smart enough to actually do something like this? To go out onto Reddit, of all places, and put something out. I gotta say, I'm not sure. And the reason is, this. When he first started out, he was 18 years old, and he sold Regarding Henry. If you haven't seen that movie, see it. Harrison Ford was so good, I can't even believe in that movie. He played two completely different personalities in the same person. And it was like, whoa, that's how good he was. The guy is so underrated as an actor. But, regardless, I mean, JJ, if he went back and just did his own thing, he'd probably be okay. But when he starts getting into other people's work, he just doesn't know what he's doing. He really doesn't. What he did to Star Trek is atrocious. What he did to Star Wars is a criminal. But I think it was the leak on Reddit came from KK. I do. Because here's the reason why I think that. It names Alan Horn specifically for the racist bullshit towards John Boyega. It names Pablo Hidalgo as a person who's putting up the most resistance to good Star Wars. And Cameron said before he lost his Twitter account to these idiots, you're going to be thrown under the bus. Okay? And they're not going to find jobs. All right? People in Hollywood don't want to work with these people because they're nuts. How do I feel about this? Well, if you go and look at how the CIA does intelligence analysis, you have human intelligence, which is called HUMINT, and you have communications intelligence, which is COMINT. And I think there's a couple other categories. The president's daily briefing from the CIA is nothing but newspaper clippings. Okay. It's not, Agent XYZ discovered that there's a uranium bomb, and, it's not that. It's very rare because the CIA is an inverted pyramid, all right? And you have like 4 or 5 field officers who are out there actually gathering intelligence. And then the rest is just a bloated bureaucracy that basically is pointless, as everything else in Washington, D.C. Um, they use a lot of satellite and communications intelligence. Now, if you're doing communications intelligence and really I think they're true. Why wouldn't they want it? Why wouldn't Disney want the guy who actually has been successful to take over? And then give him carte blanche to hire and fire anybody he wants. Okay. Now, the problem with that, and I understand it, but I don't buy it. I think the you can't fire a woman and replace him with a white man is bullshit anymore. The problem with that is the perception. You replaced a woman with a white man. Again, I can't, I don't know how Hollywood thinks. I don't think they do think, but I also don't think that they're that worried anymore. Okay. I think the age of wokeness is coming to an end. And with the departure of Kennedy, that'll be the first sign that a lot of this garbage that we hate so much is over. Because they can't sell anything. Now, there's still going to be bullshit we have to go through, but once companies realize they don't have to put up with this shit, they're not gonna. Okay. And it's going to be up to the investors. And the big difference is the investors are going to look at who's coming in to replace her. And I'm going to say this. It has to be someone who makes money. Hey, Pocket, it has to be someone who makes money. Okay. It can't be just a woke white woman it can't. Okay. If it is a woman, she better be hired on her merits, not her wokeness. Okay. Because we're not getting anywhere. And to be honest, it doesn't look like there's anybody being talked about besides Favreau to take the role. Okay. I think a lot of it will. I think is when you see a lot of this wokeness, I personally don't think Kevin Feige is woke. I don't think a lot of these people are. I just think hey Chris, I think a lot of them put this shit into their product because they think that's what they're supposed to do. And that's, yeah, it is a wild week. And that's what we're getting to. I mean, it's what, 1 o'clock, almost 1 o'clock there now. Yeah, I remember Momitas and Gupta. Who knows? Maybe we don't need a president of Lucasfilm. Good evening, Tommy in Scotland. But I do. Hey, Trayla, the troublemaker. So I don't know if Trayla. I don't know if you've seen the Doomcock video, but there might be a diversity rule, but I don't see that playing into as big effect as a lot of people. All right. The first thing about it was Monday the 19th, everybody's got to show the bosses or whoever at Disney their phones. That includes Lucasfilm. That includes Pablo, his wife, Matt, the skinny rat, chalk-toothed Martin, etc., 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 etc. This may very well be in response to the rewriting Ripley fiasco. Because, let me put it this way, if you're a lawyer for Disney and you are looking at the circumstantial evidence of that pile of shit coming from inside Lucasfilm as being very strong, you'll want to stamp it out. Because what that is is a good way to invite lawsuits. I don't think so, Desert Mav. I think that she wants to just make her Oscar bait crappy movies. I mean, yeah, they're losing tons of money. I mean, they're losing billions. You know, if you're an investor and you're sitting there going, you guys fired Gina Carano, or basically made sure everybody on the planet knew she was no longer welcome at Lucasfilm because of tweets. Do you know how many billions of dollars you left on the table? I mean, I would be like this. I know, Desert Mav. I'd be like, I need to speak to your bosses. Okay. And here's the deal. So Monday, and that's why, yeah, of course, yes, they did. MK47, they did defame her. And if it comes out again, and it could be, I mean, circumstantial evidence says it came from there. You've got Paulo Hidalgo following Rewriting Ripley. You got Matt Martin following them and retweeting them. You've got Michelle Buckman, who actually did win a Webby, being introduced to them, and then suddenly on their website says the person who put the blog together, one of their contributors, is a Webby Award winner. If I am a cop, I'm going to the DA for a warrant. Okay, I'm going to the DA for a warrant. Because there is probably direct evidence that ties all those people together. You know, oh, Darth, you could do a good job. You know, so there you go. Okay, Disney's probably looking at that going, this is a legal nightmare. Because here's the deal. Here's the deal. I don't care what ABC's doing. We're talking about Lucasfilm. Okay, here's the deal. It's going to be, let me explain how this is going to work. It's going to be a process to weed it all out. Okay, but it is happening. Okay, it is happening. And I'm going to tell you something else. ABC's not making the money anymore. Okay, ESPN is not making money anymore because of this shit. Okay, investors see that. You know, how do we change it? Well, you don't do that. And apologize to your audience. Anyway, so everybody's going to have to show their, hey, Dave, their phones to whomever at Disney, and they're going to have to abide by the rules, okay? Which is going to kill Lucasfilm employees because they all live on Twitter. In fact, that's all they do. That's all Pablo does. He's got 500 people he follows and 500 people he chats with. And that's all he does all goddamn day long is tweet. And then copies and pastes stuff for a book out of the archives. I don't think the guy's written an actual paragraph since grade school. Okay, just me. Anyway, so there's that. And then the shit hits the fan. So we get this. Doomcock has heard from multiple sources, and then Midnight's Edge, Andre came in and says their source, one of their sources came back and said, yeah, Doomcock is dead on. That Kennedy is either out or on the way out. This is huge. This is huge. Now, grain of salt, but again, let me explain. You have to call it a rumor even if it's fact, because you're protecting the sources. You're protecting yourself. Okay? You know, Doomcock many times has called things rumors that were real. So is Andre. Okay? And Tom. So I'm like, you know, if I say something, if I go with the rumor, it doesn't mean I believe it's actually happening. But I am going to report it. I am going to talk about it because these guys don't put shit out. They're not like Mike Zero. smoke a bowl. Okay, let's say like Luke Skywalker's being cast as a trans black woman. Okay, we'll go with that. Make a video. Okay. No. Doomcock, despite the goofiness, is a very serious guy. The guys at Midnight's Edge are very serious. Pirates and Princesses is serious. They're not, in fact, Jay, drunk 3PO, basically has told people the reason why they paused Galaxy's Edge is because they're reskinning it for Mando. Okay, the Filoni, the Favloniverse. Okay, and probably the OT and the prequels. That's, so do I believe it? I don't have a reason not to. I don't have a reason not to. And yeah, I know. And that's the thing, is that, Cameron says that, everybody says that. The people like Junkman who come and say that don't want good Star Wars. For some reason, they're married to shit. Okay. I don't understand why. But when you look at some of the people that, a lot of the naysayers who don't like the sequel trilogy, but think that, Kathleen Kennedy is the be all end all in Hollywood, which she's not. They don't have the credibility anymore, and they don't have the connections in Hollywood anymore. Why are they even here? Why are these people even being considered? Okay. It's going to be very, very interesting what you're going to see, because basically Cameron came out and said this was basically the Reddit leak, which I was like, looking at it going, because it didn't read like a normal leak. It wasn't a rant, and it wasn't all over the place. It was a very well thought out, methodically written thing. After you get through the announcement on it that there's going to be a lot of crap coming out, rumors about shakeups, etc., etc. You get into the meat of it, and you start to see things. Pablo Hidalgo is mentioned as being someone who stood in the way of Jon Favreau. It was a very diplomatic way of saying, we're throwing him under the bus. Alan Horn at Disney is basically fingered as the racist in the mix. He was the one that objected to Finn and Rey having a relationship. He was the one that objected to Finn being a Jedi. Yeah, please hit the like button. Hey, Latino Slant. This is, and I saw this. And Rian Johnson is getting thrown under the bus. I agree with Cameron that whoever put this together, this came out of Kathleen Kennedy's office. And when he said that this was making amends to JJ and puffing up the 4-hour cut, she's trying to repair the bridges that she burned with him. And it doesn't, but the funny thing about it is Tom is right too, where in the end, the leak, the Reddit thing, makes her look as incompetent as we all thought she was. Detached, unconnected to anything going on, not knowing that Pablo is chasing fans out, causing some to think about committing suicide. And I have somebody that I used to talk to quite a bit who told me about that one. It's very interesting to me. And I agree, is that this is, I mean, the Raylos better get used to it. Better get real. And the SD fans, better really get used to it, that they're not going to get what they want anymore. You know, and the funny thing is that they got this, what they thought was Star Wars, and liked it, but if we'd have gotten good Star Wars, they'd have liked that too. They would have liked that too. Let me repeat, underline it 3 times. They would have liked good Star Wars in the Lucas way as much or better, in fact. Okay, they got garbage. So they don't really know what good Star Wars is. I know, but that's what they do. Okay, and it's to me, being a political person, having come up through in DC, I see it. I see it. In fact, if you look at the Republican Party now, because that's the party I used to belong to, I still get emails and text messages, you know, fundraising stuff. I haven't given any political candidates money in almost a decade. They are very interesting. Everything surrounds the President Trump, and it's all the people that supported him asking for money. Devin Nunes, Ted Cruz, la-di-da. But I've also seen people that pissed him off making amends, like Reince Priebus and others, you know, in dispatches. Okay. That's called making amends. You still want to be part of that political crowd. And hey, you know what? The party's changed. If you want to be part of that, you better get on the bus. Okay. You know, so I see her doing that. And I see her getting some sort of thing where she is given an opportunity to produce movies. You know, you know, I think Cameron basically implied that she's negotiating her retirement and using Indy 5 as a bargaining chip. I mean, hey, you know, we've got, was that Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Mads Mikkelsen, who's one of my favorite actors, coming on board for Indy 5. So yeah, it's happening. Okay, it's happening. And it's going to be very interesting where this goes. Okay, but, you know, she probably wants her name on it. Okay, Indy 5 was supposed to be her last hurrah. And it should have been made. If they'd have made it and gotten it done by 2016, because they've been talking about Indy 5 since 2008. I have a GQ interview with Harrison Ford from 2017 before Blade Runner 2049 came out. And this is that interview was probably written months before, done months before, where he receives the script for Indy 5. So that script went through a ton of revisions and a ton of whatever. Now it's finally being made. I don't know that she actually really needs to be president of Lucasfilm to be producer, named as a producer for Indy 5, especially since her husband yeah, House, you're right. Especially if her husband's actually part of the production team. The difference, I mean, her and Frank, I don't know how. Hey, John 42. You know, I gotta tell you something. You know, I felt like, part of me felt like I was playing it. I was going out too soon. But I just spent about $70 on a bottle of Clico Rosé. And, you know, it could be out in Deadline Hollywood right now. There could be a story being prepped to go out in the press right now that Monday, Kathleen Kennedy is announcing her resignation. You know, that bottle is going in the refrigerator. And tonight, I'm opening that puppy and we're celebrating like it's 1999. Okay, I'm playing music. We're going to party. And I'm not kidding. You know, because guess what that means? There's no one to protect Pablo Hidalgo. There's no one to protect Matt Martin. None of these people. Okay. You look at what they produced, half-assed, apathetic shit, and they knew it. I don't remember who said it. It was on one of the other channels, but this person said, maybe it was Tom, said this is garbage. And when it came out, referring to the High Republic, when the authors put this all together, they knew it was garbage, and they knew it would be received badly. You think? They know it's garbage. How could you look at the High Republic and stand by that shit? Yes, I stand by this garbage. I'll even show you the Bible. Just wait, I'll be right back. It's my favorite champagne, and it's literally the greatest thing on the planet. This is it. This is it. All I need is to hear it. All I need is the press to come out and say it. I don't honestly, if they let her, if they let her, stay to the end of her contract, if that just gives Pablo and the gang more time to fuck everything up. Sorry, Matt Piranha. But this is, my husband usually buys a bottle of this for New Year's, but I figured, I'm gonna need that. Oh God, Pocket, if you were here with me, I would set it up so we could have like a huge party. In fact, if it wasn't so windy, I'd go out, get a bunch of wood for the fire pit, and we'd all just sit around and listen to music and just raise absolute hell. Because that's, it'd be like the liberation of France with the Allies marching through Paris. Okay. It'd be like, the guys landing at Normandy with the ladies walking out, giving them flowers and loaves of bread and bottles of champagne. And, because, oh yeah, if I could find some, you're damn right. I'd be, ask the guys over in the farm next door if we could borrow their field to light fireworks out. My dog could go like, what the hell is that? No, he'd have fun. But again, grain of salt, we've been let down before. Okay. But this time I think that with the Gina thing, oh God, yeah. I mean, yeah, with the Gina thing, I think Kennedy couldn't avoid it. Yeah. Oh, Darth Plagueis. Yeah, they will. I mean, I wouldn't doubt in my mind that she and Jon Favreau are talking. Okay. All this makes sense. Everything that's going on right now. Like I said before. Yeah, it'll be like, it'll be like the end of A New Hope. Yeah, Senator Dave, you're right. It is the straw that broke the camel's back. Well, here's the deal. We're going, again, and I told you guys this, and the rewriting Ripley bullshit kind of proved it, that we are going to be blamed. Okay? They know the end is nigh. They know you know, well, of all the people, he probably knows when it's going to happen. Craig does. And, he's, not talking to anybody. Um, I don't know what's going on. Uh, I've kind of got an idea, but I'm not going to say it. It's just, it's one of those things. Um, anyway, there's, it's, we're going to be blamed. They already tried to, they've smeared Geeks and Gamers, Doomcock, um, the Quartering, and a bunch of others. Nerdrotic, um, Drunk 3PO for what? Why? They went after his. I mean, the news came out during that Gino was gone during one of his charity streams. Think about that. Yeah, and that's the thing about it is the thing about it is yeah, and you're right. She was the best thing that's happened. Well, here's the deal. Cameron was right when he told the idiots at Lucasfilm, you're going, you're going, you're done. I mean, if you think your jobs are safe, they're not. Okay, you're going to be kicked to the curb. And just mentioning Hidalgo in the way it did proves he's right. Uh, she is burning the flying monkeys down on the way out the door, blaming them. And they're blaming us because they don't know what to think. They don't know how politics and all this works. No, not in this stream. Or he said it. Cameron, if you're talking about Cameron, he said it at Midnight's Edge. Um, and I gotta say, man, you know, I mean, it's what, 1 o'clock there now? Right around this time, always, as I would get messages saying, hey, did you hear this? Breaking news, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the Leslie Headland thing broke at 4 in the afternoon. Oh, yeah, I do too, Piranha. I would say, yeah, she's the only person keeping them together. She's the only person keeping the story group there. And they put all of their money, all of their work into the High Republic, and it's just been, it's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. Um, you know, uh, and this also proves that, I mean, when you look at it, again, she threw Pablo under the bus. Pablo, Ruin, and Disney. Ah, well, Darth Plagueis, my grandfather was a fellow countryman of yours. So I'm Norwegian. Norwegian, German, Welsh, Scots, and I think a little bit Jewish. So, yeah, it's, I mean, like yesterday, I went to our Target and they had those Claudia Gray's novels. Only one sold within the month. And you have to remember, March 14th, I was at that Target, and then I went to that Target. So those pictures were taken on the same day. All right. And of all those novels, only one sold. One. Numbers and money is everything. Okay? It's everything. And these people are learning a very big lesson in that. And I couldn't be happier. I mean, We just gotta hang around and wait. Now we just gotta, you know, there's gonna be more. Doomcock is gonna have more, I think. Um, this is all just a. It sounds to me like it's a very fluid situation. Yeah, Tommy, I think she did. I really do. I think uh, that was the uh, a signal of sorts. She could have just because you don't. People were, you know, she just doesn't have anything left to lose. It's like it's really hard for actors to get back into Hollywood, and the last thing you want to do is go after somebody like Bob Iger, and yet there's Gina. Yeah, I know, and it's gonna be. This is, you know, I mean, like I said, we could. I mean, yeah, you know, Katie was like, they were there and they were the best for the job. I mean, you know, I'd have said, well, they were there. Those girls were the only ones to do the job because they were the only ones available. And they happened to be really good at doing the job, you know, and that's really what I think she meant. But this is, you know, this is going to be very fun, I think. Yeah, and I think Plagueis, I think that's what they're going to do. I honestly, you know, I think they might name somebody as head of Lucasfilm, but I don't think the person's going to have any creative control and probably won't want any. Uh, you know, I just, you know, I told Doomcock this privately. This feels different this time. This feels different. All right, this is way different from 2018. Okay, that was, I'll tell you something. You don't have geeks and gamers jumping on this and others. Um, you've got people who are very, very serious about getting it out there and doing the right thing. Yeah, I agree. I think it's Mohsen Gupta who's going to end up being the de facto admin president of Lucasfilm. Um, we could wake up tomorrow morning and feel really let down. Okay, I'm warning you right now, but it just feels so different. This feels like we are finally getting something good out of this. We're finally seeing something happen that is significant. And that is everything. Okay, that's the biggest thing. Okay, is seeing something significant. Um, and when Doomcock said he talked to several different sources, and they all kind of converge on the same thing. And Andre said he talked to his person, and that person said, "Yeah, he's close. He's very close. He is very close to what's happening." What I find and the thing about it is Doomcock brought up the fact that Disney or the Lucasfilm Star Wars social media was very quiet. Um, yeah, I think you're right, Pocket. I really, really do. Just a second, I gotta grab something to blow my nose. Um, Another signal that I forgot to mention, another thing, was the fact that that the social media at Lucasfilm was silent for 2 weeks. If you remember, the last thing they had posted on the 1st of April was the trans binary twins. as if that makes sense logically, and you know, like, don't think those words mean what you think they mean. Uh, and they posted today on Twitter and on their on other accounts and on their Insta, and they've been getting pounded. But it was just very banal, boring, Bad Batch. So, okay, if it's Bad Batch, it's fine. You know, we can still say, we want Favloni, fire Kathleen Kennedy, bring back Gina, we stand with Gina Carano, la la la. I mean, we can still, you know, tell them what we think. The funny thing about it is these people actually thought the backlash was going to go away, and it didn't. I do too, Matt Piranha. That's my thing. Um, it's very interesting to me. Uh, these guys, you know, what's going on, and how and where it's and what's happening with it. Like, but you got to remember what that. Oh yeah, it's Gina Carano's birthday. Happy birthday, Gina. Um, have a glass of bubbly to celebrate. I want to say this. When I looked at that Reddit leak, and it said you will be hearing rumors, shakeups, etc., coming in the next few weeks. That's the thing that told me that leak was real. That was a legit person from Lucasfilm putting it out there. And when Cameron came up with the idea that it's probably Kennedy's own office, I went and started going through everything they were talking about. Yeah. Now, again, it could have been JJ. I don't, you know, he's a smart guy, but I don't know if he's smart enough to come up with something like that. Okay. There's political smarts, and then there's smarts. And this thing was it was a bad PR job, but it was an interesting bullet by bullet PR job. And I'm not sure if he's smart enough to be able to come up with that. Well, authenticity is everything. It's a very rare thing in the world. This is just going to be very, very interesting in the next few days. But Monday might be a big one. I do look for a rumor coming out that Hidalgo's gone. Well, I tell you, here's why I think Disney. Well, John 42, he wrote regarding Henry when he was 18 years old. JJ is not stupid. You know, regarding Henry is a great movie. That movie, Harrison Ford played a guy with literally two different personalities, and head injury victim, and he was so freaking good. And when I was watching it, and now when I look back, it's like, how the hell did J.J. Abrams come up with that? I mean, you know, but he's not stupid. He's just, I don't think politically savvy enough to come up with this. So here's the thing about Disney. As I've said before, they buy their own stock to keep the price high. If the price goes low, they are takeover bait. Okay, $79, and it was trading once at $79 a share. If it's trading at that, anybody could come in with the money and buy them out. hostile takeover. If it's trading at $200 a share, it's a little bit more difficult. But if the shares go down to like 150, the shares go down to, if the shares go down to 100, then I could see Tim Cook going, you know, I'd rather see Disney broken up. I'd rather see Fox and Lucasfilm be married back together again and be a company all on their own. No, he wrote it, Smurfy Blue. He wrote it. Yeah, he wrote that script. He was 18 years old. His father was a film mogul anyway, so he was already in the club. He got to Harrison Ford to read it. Harry liked it, and that's how that movie got made. It's one of those things where he just got lucky. He got lucky with, growing up and being where he was. But as far as, that Apple taking over Disney, I don't see it unless Disney stocks fall hard. I don't think George would buy it back. And if he did, he'd have to have someone else he'd trust run it for him. Yeah, they do control too much of the industry, and they should be broken up. I know before Trump got his election stolen, that the DOJ was looking at them and talking about a trust issue. I think Georgia trusts Jon Favreau. They talk a lot. Well, I don't think $100 billion in cash should be enough to buy Disney. I don't know if his wife would want to. I think if Favreau would want to, it would just, excuse me. Oh, sorry. It would just be, this is just going to be really interesting, you guys, to watch and see what happens. Okay. I am really, but when Doomcock posted that, I was pacing around the island here and pacing out, and the dog was following me going, what's going on? And I was jumping up and down. We really, for the good of humanity, we all really need good news here. Yeah, you could make him creative director. He could be overall creative director with his hands in the streaming and franchise films. No, not Ron Howard. He's too safe. Star Wars, you need someone who's a little bit willing. First off, who understands stories. Second of all, you need someone who at times is going to take a risk or two. Okay. Ron Howard, if you give him a better script, he'd probably do a good job. But I wasn't impressed even with what he did. I wasn't impressed at all with what he did with Solo. He should have fired the writer. He should have fired Aaron Reich. He should have fired the chicks. All of them gone. And started over from scratch. And gotten someone who actually gives a shit about the character. And the movies. And Star Wars. Yeah, I'm, hey, like I always say this, we could get confirmation now. The fact that Doomcock, and I didn't think he'd do another video this week about it, but I was shocked. I was like, and when I saw what it was about, I jumped off of Midnight's Edge and watched it. It was jumping around. Yeah, it should have been scrapped and rewritten, recast, the whole 9 yards. It was just terrible. You didn't need to see him running away on Corellia with that bimbo, Yeah, that would be a good story. Any of these, there's a rumor out there that Favreau wants to bring the story of Darth Bane to the big screen, which I think would be cool. Okay? I mean, all this stuff. I'm just really... I mean, this is awesome. Yeah, well, you know, she's a good director. She needs a little more seasoning. You know, I would give, if you're going to do the sequel trilogy over again, 2012, you're looking for a director. Let's say like George doesn't sell, but he's looking for a director. Ridley Scott. Don't argue with me. Why? Star Wars inspired him to do Alien. Okay. The guy has an Oscar under his belt. He's been there for a long time. He's worked with Harrison Ford. He understands the genre. Or Peter Jackson. Or, you know, Christopher Nolan. One of those guys who have done big budget pictures, who understand the genre, who aren't politically correct, who, you know, have worked with some of the cast. You know, I really, I mean, that article that came out in 2018, no, December 2017, where he said, I really wish they'd stop hiring these young directors that don't know what they're doing. Reference to Lucasfilm. They wouldn't want me, but I would make the movies on time and under budget. As in no reshoots. You know, that would be awesome. Can't do that anymore with Carrie being gone. You know, the only way you could actually do a sequel trilogy that honored Han, Luke, and Leia is to get BioWare to do the animation. You guys have all seen Star Wars, the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic trailers. They're awesome. Get BioWare to do the, you know, to work with Lucasfilm and do the animation and do it right. And you could have it on Disney Plus. It wouldn't have to be a feature, but it could be sold as the legit sequel trilogy to Return of the Jedi, where you get a young Luke, a younger Han Solo. Oh yeah, God, that would be. What about Mel Gibson? Mel Gibson. Oh my God, that guy is a genius. Holy shit. You know, yeah, but here's the deal about that. De-aging them is one thing, but would they want to come back and do it? Mark would. I don't know how much money it would take to get Ford back. You know, but, you know, but again, Carrie's gone. You could do something where, I don't know. I think what they'll do with the original characters is deep fake them. Really? Oh my God, that's awesome, Chris. I mean, Kevin Costner, no. No, I love Kevin, but he's just not that guy. Mel, first off, it would be incredibly violent. Okay, because Mel goes that way. Second of all, it would be there would be a moral teaching to it because Mel can't help himself. But it would be great. Christopher Nolan would be good. Oh, really? Oh, excuse me. Gosh, I don't know why. Oh, I don't know why I'm tired today. This has just been crazy, and I'm not gonna have another cup of coffee because I won't be able to sleep tonight. But this is all just, you know, I'm freaking out right now. I mean, I want to dance. I want to party. I want to rock. I want to rock. Oh, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna de-age Indy 5. You know. Oh yeah, I want to rock. Yep, you're right. But you know, I had to come live today because I do too. But as long as Kennedy is there, running or as president of Lucasfilm and part of the production team, he doesn't want to do it. Remember what he said? Creative differences. But what I think that translates out to is, you screwed my friend over. There's a reason why I think that George was part of the Rise of Skywalker filming. Because of that. Hey, Riff. You know, because of that. Oh, I'm sorry, God. Yeah, you know, I listen to Doomcock streams, the live streams, but they're so all over the place that I prefer a very structured thing. All right, old redneck nerd, how do you know all of this? Sebastian Stan is too tall to play Luke. Okay, you get a guy that plays Han Solo and he's shorter, that's gonna look stupid, and the fans are gonna say something. Okay, I don't think that Stan is gonna play Skywalker. I think they can use de-aging. They can use digital animation. You know, they can do a lot of things, and they don't have to recast anybody. They don't really have to recast anybody. That's the thing. And you don't, like, you know, if you go and watch the BioWare, trailers, they're so good. It's unbelievable how good they are. Here, I'll put you guys here. I'm gonna show you something. This will be fun. We know how much fun I have getting into my, don't mind the scratches on my arm as my dog. He's crazy. Okay. Ew, well, it worked. I'm going to show you at least a little bit of one of the BioWare Knights of the Old Republic videos. Just to if you haven't seen them in a while, refamiliarize yourselves with it as soon as this thing gets... Okay, here we go. All right, and I have to do this because this is how we play the game here. 1, 2, 3. Off my computer. Or else. Okay, let's see. YouTube. All right. Search. Knights of the Old trailer. Okay. Okay, let's watch a little bit of this. All right. Okay. This one. This is the creation of
this unforgettable vacation memory. It didn't actually begin here. This memory began when Dad booked his family summer.
What the hell? This is the Empress Valen.
Korriban, ancient birthplace of the Sith. We believed ruins were all that remained of their evil empire.
But look.
on vengeance.
Let's go to Valen. Okay, the twins. See how good this looks? Off of there. Okay, here we go. This is my favorite. Sorry, the screen is so dirty. See how real they look? All right, do you see how real they look? And how good it is? It is, to me, this is absolutely the way to go. If you want to do the sequel trilogy the right way, that's how you do it. You go in, and yeah, but that was years ago. Knights of the Old Republic is years ago, and you know you could do it because those are real human beings with things on their faces. Okay, so you could actually get someone that approximates Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and they make them look like that. They don't need to do a deep fake. And I think the animation is good enough to basically at times take the place of live. Oh, I didn't I didn't jump in with my with my own YouTube account. Okay, so that was just one that, you know, that was just me turning on YouTube without signing in. Okay, so yeah, your point, it's the Old Republic. I'm telling you, if you want to do the sequels and do honor to the original characters, this is what you do. Because you don't have to hire an entire new cast and then have fans throwing popcorn at each other because they hate or love the new cast. Which, if you recast, hey, you know what? Remember how well they did with recasting Solo? Okay? That went over like a fart in church. Okay? Didn't it? If they do it this way, they don't have to worry about that. Okay? And probably if you're not paying the actors, you're probably saving a little bit of money. I don't know. Anyway, it's all just, you know, we're just now just shooting this shit to see what they could do because, you know, I really wish we'd get official word. Oh, I would too. I would go for that kind of animation in a heartbeat. Reason why is this. Again, you don't have to pay you're not going, that really doesn't look like Han. And he kind of sucks. That doesn't look like Leia, she's too tall. That guy doesn't act, you know, we're not comparing actors. Let me tell you something. Do you honestly think it's fair for a young actor to step in Harrison Ford's boots and then be compared to him? Because that's what happened to Alden Ehrenreich. Wasn't his fault that he couldn't do it. That he couldn't measure up. You know? He just couldn't measure up. He was hired to do a job he couldn't do. There you go. Anyway, I wanted to jump in and just say, whatever. I'm really getting antsy. I want to know what's going on. I want the information. You understand? The reason why I want the information is because it's time for this all to just happen. It's time for Disney to say, we fucked up, we did a bad thing, we're sorry, Kennedy's gone, please come back. You know, we want answers. You know, it's not that I have anxiety, I'm getting growing impatient, you know. But again, this feels so different than it did the last time. I mean, all we got was Chuck Wendig getting fired. Big deal. You know, oh God. If this goes down and they let the story group go, God, I want to get back on Twitter just to see the meltdown. I will laugh so fucking hard. Oh my God. It does kind of feel like Christmas Eve, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I mean, there's like Andre said, there's a lot that Doomcock keeps back, you know? Yeah, they do. They do. And I'll tell you something else. They're republishing a lot of these books because I think this is the way they're going to go now. Oh, it will. And I want to be there so bad. I'll redo my account, and I will be one of the biggest trolls. Oh, I mean, it could be Monday. This could be Monday. The shit could start hitting the fan Monday. Remember what that leak said. You will be hearing about rumors and shakeups in the coming days, weeks, and months. Okay? So, this is already the first rumor that we've heard. Why wouldn't it? I mean, remember, it could also not be happening. Okay? Why wouldn't it not be happening? I mean, that's, you know, it. Look, here's the deal. I think when people say that, they're looking for a reason to be afraid. There's no reason to be afraid. And the reason is this. Yeah, apparently it kicks in this Monday. You know, last time I went on Twitter, Matt Martin was acting like nothing was going on. Mrs. Hidalgo was talking about a Lucasfilm trivia team raising money because she's a local outreach person. Excuse me. Why do they need that? God, she'd be the first to go after her husband. Could you imagine both of them getting the pink slip on the exact same moment, on the exact same day? Have fun, okay? The source of the Disney social media policy is Doomcock. And they've done it before, but this is the first time where basically it's like, let us see your phones. So it sounds to me like they're looking to see where all the bots are coming from. That could be it too. Okay, where are all the bots that started the Fire Gina Carano thing? Think about it. I just thought of that. There could be a lot of stuff going on. Okay, it also could be where they're trying to track down how far rewriting Ripley is inside Lucasfilm. Because like I said, there's enough circumstantial evidence to warrant an investigation. Yeah, you make burner phones for a reason. And, you know, I think that's what they might be doing. An IT audit. And this is going to be fun. No, it's not about leaking. I think, all right, Darth Plagueis, did you watch Gina's interview with Ben Shapiro? You need to. She said this stuff originated inside Lucasfilm. If you look at how Fire Gina Carano trended, what I suspect is people inside Lucasfilm used bots to trend the topic. okay? Because it couldn't get, that many normal people to go along with them. So what they did was they just, they got bot accounts to do it. When you look at the people, when you look at the comments being made towards her at the time, it was very interesting to me to see how many sounded exactly alike. So they're probably they're probably investigating that. They could be investigating rewriting Ripley too, because again, there are legal issues with this. If it turns out I don't know, and I don't think so. If it's employee phones, like the phones they get from the company that they're using, but if they're looking at, if they're looking for where or who's connected to those two weirdo Raylos, um, they're trying to avoid a lawsuit. Okay, because I still say, Quartering has every right to sue them. Jeremy has every right to, they all do. They have to do it if um, and I honestly think why not? They all think that they all think they can get away with bloody murder. And the reason is this. Kennedy allowed it to happen, whether she knew it or not. Okay. She could be the most incompetent female on the planet. And not have known this was going on. But still, she allowed it to happen. She agreed with a lot of what these people are saying. So, it's on her. She's the boss. If she wasn't aware of it, she's incompetent. If she was aware of it, and encouraged it, she's not only incompetent, she's a really bad leader. Okay, either way, she's a bad leader. She don't have it. She can't win here with this. Okay, so if rewriting Ripley goes into Lucasfilm and Disney finds out, Disney could be liable. Okay, think about it. That's a defamation lawsuit at Disney. Okay. Also, if they're using corporate phones to harass, bother, and mass report people like Cameron, like Gina, it. I think it's part of both. Plagueis. I think it's part of both. You could. I mean, think about it. Social media was done. Star Wars social media was not existent for 2 weeks. And then they showed up today or yesterday. They took 2 weeks off. Why? Then we get this thing from Doomcock, along with the Reddit thing. You don't have to think there's anything going on. That's your prerogative. But you'd be nuts. If I was studying this as an intelligence analyst, I'd put more satellites on this. If I was a judge and the cop said we have enough circumstantial evidence to warrant a search warrant, I grant it to him. All right. The circumstantial evidence is enough for a civil lawsuit. Okay, I think. Well, maybe not, but direct evidence is actually legal trouble. All right. falsely smearing people, saying they doxed you when you had your name on the website. Okay, saying one of you won a Webby Award when, I'm talking about Ryan Ripley right now, when neither of you could spell the word the, but somebody that used to work at Lucasfilm sure won a Webby Award, and she talked to both of you. That's on Twitter. Okay? This is the problem. Okay? This is where Disney's got to go. This has got to stop. This is where I say don't get involved with fans. If you are a movie studio, an actor, director, don't get involved with fans. Never do that. I saw it happen with Gerard Butler. I saw it happen with Ioan Gruffudd. Don't do it. Okay? Because some people who are fans are insane. Okay? And take ownership of you. Take ownership of the franchise. The problem with the Raylos is they think they own Star Wars. Okay? The problem with Jason Ward is that he thinks he owns Star Wars. The problem with Steele Saunders is he thinks he owns Star Wars. Okay? I'm pretty sure if I was hanging out with Harrison Ford and showed him that quick video on the red carpet, I think of Blade Runner 2049 or something, he'd go, I don't even remember doing that. Who is that guy? And I'd be like, do you really want to know? And then I'd tell him, and he'd be like, there are people out there like that. It's like, yes, Harry, yes, there are. Yes. And they make our lives a living hell. Okay? They're not fans. Steele Saunders is there to promote his now defunct comedian's career. Jason Ward, I don't even know what his real job is. But there you go. Steele Saunders is actually a Disney star? For what? That guy's an asshole. He's, I don't care what anyone thinks. He's a dickhead. Anyway, but I've seen it happen. Okay, so you can't. No, they're not. And that's a bad thing. That's a very bad thing that they're not doing that. Anyway, look, I gotta take the dog out because he's asking. And I want to get a workout in. So I will talk to you guys later. Maybe something will happen today still. Oh yeah, he was. And you guys all be good. If anything happens, I'll be back. Maybe I'll come back later. Anyway, see you around the galaxy, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.